Hi there, thank you for watching my video today. Today I'm going to be making this gorgeous I would call it a slope-topped back flap gift box. Basically, this is a gift box that has sloped sides and it opens up at the top like this. It is pretty spacious to hold on a lot of treats. It makes great birthday favor boxes too. And the finished dimensions of this box are 8 inches in height and 3 3/4 in depth and 6 inches wide. So yeah, a pretty good sized box. You can change the colors, you can change the decorations, and you can make these absolutely for any occasion that you want to adapt the box for. So I have made a few errors in making the box, but that's a part of crafting and coming up with new ideas. Also, I've discussed in the video that how I have come up with the sizing and all the stuff because I saw the shape of this box over on Pinterest and I couldn't find the measurements anywhere. So I worked out and got the measurements myself. So this is an original design. So yeah, feel free to use the tutorial to come up with your own creations and share them with me. So without any further ado, let's just quickly crack on. So for the box, you are going to need quite a few pieces of cardstock, and I am going to walk you through one by one through all of these. Okay, so for the base, you are going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 6 inches. This is going to be our base piece on which all our sides, front and back panel are going to stick to. Then you need another piece which measures 3 5/8 of an inch by 5 7/8 of an inch. This is going to be used for reinforcing our base after we have added in all the sides and the front and the back panels. So these two are for the base. For the back panel, you need a piece of cardstock that measures 8 1/2 inches by 6 inches, and on the 8 1/2 inches side you want to score at 1/2 an inch. Okay, and you are going to fold and burnish the score line. Then for the front piece, which is going to form the front and then the slope part, and then it's going to have a flap at the back, you need a piece of cardstock that measures 6 inches by 11 inches. Okay, and on the 11 inches side, on the long side, you want to score at 1/2 an inch, 6 1/2 and 10 1/2. All right, fold and burnish only the 1/2 inch score lines for now, so that you have these two 1/2 inch tabs over here on both the ends. Okay, then for the sides, you need 2 pieces of cardstock and you're going to score them both the same way. On the short, let me give you the measurements. You need 2 pieces of cardstock that measure 4 3/4 inches by 8 1/2 inches. Okay, and on the long side, on the 8 inches side, you want to score at 1/2 an inch, and on the short side you want to score at 1/2 an inch and 4 1/4 inches. This is going to give you a 1/2 inch tab on both the sides, and you are going to fold and burnish these score lines as well. So this was the bit of scoring that we needed to do, and now I'm going to get my scissors and do a bit of cutting. So beginning with my back piece, we have this 1/2 inch tab at the bottom. We do not need to cut a lot, but just taking a wedge off of this 1/2 inch tab so that it doesn't add bulk to our base when we add it to the box. Okay, then for the front piece, we are going to have 2 sections here. This is the 6 inches section and this is the smaller section. The one which is the 1/2 inch tab, which is near or next to the 6 inch tab, if you place it in this orientation, this 1/2 inch tab is going to form the base of the box. So we need to take off a wedge off of both the corners on this side as well. Okay, we are not going to do anything to this top flap, because this is going to be the flip of the front of the box. Okay, then just flip your cardstock over. You need to cut out a window on it. I am flipping the cardstock over because I do not want the pencil marks to show on the front. So what I want to do is I want to come in 1 inch from either side. So this is 6 inches width, so I'm going to make a mark at 5 inches and 1 inches. So it's 1 inches in on either side, and I have come down 1.5 inches from this score line at the top. From the bottom, I am going to again roughly, this is going to be our 2 inches mark. So if I place my ruler here and mark at 5 inches and then again at 1 inch. So this is going to give me a window in the front of the box. So joining all the points and then cutting them out with my cutting knife. I've marked the window. I've come 1.5 inches down from the top score line, and I have come 2 inches above the bottom score line. And now I am going to use a paper cutter. You can use a cutting knife as well. So I'm going to cut this window out. So this is what you will get out of this, and you're not going to throw this away because we need to cut out the handle from this. I'll show you in a minute. So for this window, you need a piece of acetate that measures 8 inches by 5 inches. So here I have a piece that measures 5 inches by 9 inches. So I am going to cut an inch away from it so that it just gets fixed into our box. So bringing it down to 8 inches. Then you can use red tape to stick your acetate, but the glue that I am going to use is also fine for acetate because it really holds it in place and does not let it move. I prefer to use liquid glue when using acetate because you have a bit of a wiggle room to move if it's not put in place in the first time, because once red tape is in contact with the paper, you cannot move it, and if you try to detach it from the paper, it just tears apart the paper too. So my preference is always the liquid glue, but you can use whatever you feel comfortable with. So just putting the glue all around the border of the window that I have cut out. Just make sure your acetate is clean and there's no hair or any remains of the paper sticking to it. So very carefully putting it and then giving it a slight but really good burnish so that the glue spreads out and there's no air pockets, because it's actually the air pockets that let the acetate detach from the paper. So that's done. That's the front of our box. Okay, now let's talk about the sides. So I have already prepared one side of the box, and you need two sides which are going to be mirror images of each other. So this one has a cutting down from left to right. This is going to have from right to left. So I have a 2 inches slope. So what I want to do is, this is the score line. Just fold the score line in the left hand side, and you want to make a mark at 2 inches here. Okay, and then you may open it, and from this score line now, if you fold that in, you'd want to draw a line, and you are going to cut this part away. Okay, if I extend it here, if you feel comfortable, you can do this without folding the tabs in, but basically my point is that you do not need to include these sides in the box. So even if you do not want to draw the line, you can totally eyeball the cutting too, but it's always good to have a line drawn. So taking a wedge off from here as well, and then you can see that you have to take out this entire square at the bottom and the one on this side as well. Okay, so now you can see that this is how the sides are going to look. They are opposite, or you can say they are mirror image to each other. So now let's assemble the box. Take the larger base piece, which is this one, which is 3 3/4 by 6 inches. Yeah, this is the piece that you want to use. So take your back panel and put glue on this 1/2 inch tab here. And just put it flat on the table or your work area, and take this base piece and line it up with the score line, like so. Just slightly spread the glue as well, like this. It's basically another kind of a deconstructed box with a twist. Then take your front panel and you're going to do the same. The tab which had the sides cut off, you're going to put glue here on this tab. And then bring this entire piece up and attach it again snugly to the score line. Now flip it over so that we are having a look on the inside. Now when you're attaching the sides, make sure that the longer 1/2 inch tab is adjacent or at right angle to this one. Okay, so I had by mistake cut them smaller. When I am editing the video, I am going to add a small note at the bottom that the side pieces need to be 8.5 inches long and not 8 inches. The rest of the scoring and all the measurements are going to be the same. It's just that the length was a bit shorter than what was needed. So I'm just now quickly cutting up the sides again. And this is where I am making the slope of the box, of the sides. And I'm cutting off the base as well. to be like this. I'm going to erase this line here. Let me just get rid of all this mess. Okay, so yeah, now when you are putting up the sides, you need to be very, very careful that you place the right side up with the back of the box. Okay, so now let's just first quickly attach the base. Make sure that you line the score line up properly with the edge of the base, like so. Okay. And do the same on the other side now by rotating the box. I saw the design of this box on Pinterest, but I couldn't find the measurements anywhere. So I worked it out myself. I have seen quite a variations of how the box opens, but it has almost somehow the same shape. Some I have seen they're having a flip lid at the front, but this one has a back. I haven't seen any box on YouTube like this as yet. If you have seen, do let me know in the comments below. Now, before we head over to joining the sides, what I need to do is, this is the top score line in the front panel. What I need to do is I need to make a mark at 1¼ inches in from both the sides. So I'm going to make a mark of 1¼ and then at 4¾ and we need to cut out a tiny slit. Basically, we're just going to remove the score line here so that it forms an opening for our handle of the box. Just remove the score line. We do not need a larger slit like this. So just take this out and this side as well. So it's just this much that we have taken out. Now let's join the sides, and also reinforce. Now let's reinforce the base. This is the piece, shorter piece that we had cut out, and this is going to reinforce the base just in case you want to put in some heavy gifts. Otherwise it doesn't need any reinforcement because it can easily hold lighter gifts like a scarf, some chocolates, some other treats. So even if you want to put in a bottle of a perfume, some, if you want to add a few items to the box, then you need reinforcement. You do not want the box to wobble around or just tear apart. So now just fold in the sides and put glue, this 1/2 inch tab. Then bring this part up and just join this together along the score line like this. Make sure that the base and the score line of the side piece are completely aligned with each other. Do the same on this side as well. here. And now fold these tabs for the front piece to join over. Bring this part over and join the 1/2 inch tabs like so. Just flip it and give it a good burnish from the inside. Okay, and here we have our basic shape of the box ready. Now what we need to do is we need to have a handle cut out for this. So the piece which we were left with, we are going to use the circle dies, and this one is the cut edge is basically 3 and it's almost 3 3/4, and the inner circle is 2 and 7/8. Yeah, it's 3 3/4 and 2 and 7/8. Yeah, so I'm going to line these up like this so that we have just the rim around. And to secure this in place, I'm going to use a little bit of tape so that the dies don't move when we are cutting them through the machine. So just quickly getting my big shot over. This is going to be our handle. Now this is a circle. You need to fold it in half and make it a semicircle. Okay, like so, and paste it together so that it does get strengthened. Oops. Okay, so now I think I have cut the top part short as well. I don't know what I have done, but I think you need a piece that is 12 inches long instead of 11 inches, because if I just try to close the box, it does close, but the sides do just bulge out like this, and it doesn't give it a nicer look. But what you need to do is you need to put glue on the ends of this and just eyeball it at an equal distance from both the ends. And you need, mine is going to be at, this is at 1.5, this is at 1 1/4. So just move this a little bit to the right, like so. it's now correct. So basically it's going to just close. The slit is going to have the box's handle pass in like this. I think it looks nice or not. Do let me know in the comments. I don't know where was my brain when I was working out the measurements, because I have made these boxes in quite a lot of number. This was another box that I had made, and this one, you know, as you can see, this one fits perfectly. It's made in red. And then I made another one in this variation. This has a bit of a larger you know, side panel. And then I have made another box in this peace out theme. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised at my measurements too, that what has happened here. So basically you get the, you know, hang of it once you try to make the box. And for the decorations, I had planned to put this rainbow over here in the front, and I have this flower as well. So I have just embellished the box, and I think it looks pretty. It is ideal for Mother's Day gifts. It's ideal for birthday events, birthday gifts as well. These make great birthday return boxes as well. So yeah, the possibilities are endless. You can always change the decorations. As you can see that I have changed them over here. These are all the variations that I have worked with. So this one is the peace out one, if I bring them in camera, and this is the high five one. So you can see it has all the details, all the different themes. So the point of showing you these is that you can always change the decorations on the box to change the theme, and it's going to obviously give you a different look. So I hope that you have liked today's video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll be bringing you amazing videos. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.